Hey team, how's it going? What am I doing here? I am screaming into the void, like most people on YouTube. I'm also trying to normalize a normal kitchen and share basically my approach to living this wretched little life on this wretched little planet. It's not so bad. This is my kitchen after 5 days of not doing any dishes, but I did eat and I cooked and I baked. And so I'm wanting to share my overall dish method for other people struggling with the pressure to do dishes every day, and also introduce myself and this channel. So the first thing you're going to want to do is clear off everything you can from the area that is not a dish and doesn't need to be washed. The first thing I had to do was go find a chair for my laptop so I could record this because I had no more space anywhere near the kitchen for such an endeavor. So you're going to get rid of all your food, get rid of all your garbage, begin to clear away and organize all your dishes, clean off your counter. I have a single basin sink, so I have to do everything in the one sink. So I'm going to clean off the counter, I'm going to empty the sink, I'm going to pour out any of the liquid trash I have, old soup, old beverages, anything like that. Fill up the sink, and then my method is I start with cutlery. I do all of my flat things, so all of my cutlery, all my utensils, and then I do flats and flatware, so all my plates, cutting boards, lids, and pot lids. And then I move into bowls and pots, and I finish with like cat dishes, like my cat spoons and plates. If I have clean water, that's when I'll do cups and straws just so they don't get nasty. I have a rinse bowl because I have the one sink of dishes. So pay attention to, if you use a rinse bowl, pay attention to how grungy it gets and just know that all of that grunge is not staying on your dishes and, more importantly, not going onto your dish towel, which would make it like crunchy and smelly. So I love the rinse bowl. I highly recommend. If I had a two basin sink, I would wash everything in the bigger basin and then just put it in the littler basin. And once the littler basin was full, I would rinse everything just to save on water. And I developed this method as everybody needs to develop their own method for doing chores, right? And once you have the method down, you can implement it whenever you need to. So I thought that quote unquote getting better at dishes would be me doing dishes more frequently. But that's not true. I am not a maintenance person, so the maintenance of daily life is excruciating. I am more of a project person, so it makes more sense to me to once a week do 2 hours of dishes than to force myself every day, daily, to stand at the sink and do like 10, 20, 30 minutes of dishes. So this was 5 days of dishes of like actively eating, and I cooked a bunch. And this took me overall from the beginning cleanup and like setting up the laptop to the very end when I looked at the timestamp when I was all done. And I also cleaned my stove and I also cleaned that counter beside the stove. That all took 2 hours and two sinks of water. So if I had done dishes every day for 5 days, that would have been 5 sinks of water. I would have gone through more towels because they wouldn't have dried. It's just a different approach. Here's just another angle so you can see how messy my kitchen still remains. And as you go, you rearrange. So I do not do dishes more frequently. Instead, what I have realized that I'm developing is that when I do all these dishes, maybe later in the day, I do more dishes. So now that all my dishes are clean and I'm able to cook again, I'm likely to cook with all these dishes and then do another big round of dishes on the same day. So I figured when the skill was built up more, I would be doing dishes more frequently, like more days, but instead I'm just doing, like on the day that it is dish day, I'm just doing a whole bunch of kitchen stuff. So I feel like building these habits, these self care maintenance house habits that we get a lot of shame for in our culture, in our daily life, if you open yourself up to develop whatever habit's going to work for you, and then you keep yourself open to find out how it continues to develop in the most kind of efficient way, I think you'll be surprised with what comes out. For a little flower vase hack, if this is a receptacle for flowers, but you can't see the purple gradient when there's flowers in it, so now it's my iced tea pitcher. Follow me for more aesthetic thrifted advice. So what am I doing here? Now that you can see my method, I put all the cutlery down, I put all the flats back, then I started to put the bowls and some plastic up. Plastic is always last because it's too light, it can't support anything above it. What am I doing here? As I said, I'm screaming into the void. I'm trying to normalize a normal little depressy life. And I like sharing like how I go about things when I don't really like talking to people. And even if like 4 people watch this video, that's 4 more people that I have kind of had a quasi conversation with about acceptance and about shame and about chores than would otherwise have happened, because I do not leave this messy house. I love it here. I am a hermit. This is my hermit hut. Welcome. So from this channel, what can you expect from me? Well, I'm going to be putting up my dish method. I hope to put up little life hacks, little tidbits of information that I find useful. I plan to put up cooking creamy, dairy-free autistic food. And on this channel also I will be reading Jane Austen. So if you're into depression or Jane Austen or life hacks, stick around.